know it?
I used to work in and around South London as part of Loomis, which is the cash and transit stuff. The guys that carry the fucking box wearing the helmets.
You done that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went from basically in the military, then came out, did security up at Waitrose for a bit, and then I took that one.
Yeah, it's tricky around there.
Oh yeah. Luckily, I never got raided, but a few of me pals got shotguns to the face and all sorts. Get told basically, just take the box.
They never, when they open it, there's a wink in it and stuff. You know,
yeah. You also need the two fobs. This is me telling everyone. they carry two fobs.
Yeah, I've not robbed any, by the way. I just know people who have. I ain't done it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it must be because obviously you hear a lot of stories and you see all the different TV shows and that about South London. I grew up in Hereford, which couldn't be.
Hertfordshire?
No, Hereford is up in West Country sort of area, near Wales.
Right.
It couldn't be any different to like down here. Well, down here in fact, and in London. Like my missus always says to me, she's like, "You guys are so like backwards and like behind everything." So I was like, "What do you mean?" She went, "What, like even down to like styles and things like that. Like people started walking around wearing skinny jeans and that. It's like." I've never been able to wear that sort of shit anyway, but you know, it's just mad. Like from down to like fucking hairdos and that.
Yeah.
One of my pals was from Basildon, and he came to visit when I was a kid, and he was wearing like those Nike TN hats when they were fucking cool.
Don't fit me, mate. It's too big. I wanted one.
Yeah, but he would like rock up and like be a proper chavvy, like, and they. I was like, "What are you doing wearing that?" And all the lads from where I'm like, they're like,
"Fashion was a big thing."
Yeah,
fashion was definitely a big thing.
Yeah, you don't get that in Hereford. There's no fashionable people in Hereford. Yeah, my brother's probably the most fashionable person I know, and he's stepped out of that now.
But yeah, growing up, there was I don't know what perception you've got of it. You see a lot of TV.
Yeah, you see a lot because it's from what I gathered, like it's a bit naughty.
Yeah.
I suppose you get that. You get rough areas in anywhere.
It's everywhere, isn't it? But I think it just depends, like what kind of person you are and what choices you make. I wasn't one of them people.
Yeah,
I grew up with people that was and that wasn't. It can be testing growing up where I grew up, but I think you either make one decision or the other.
Yeah,
I think it's harder nowadays for kids growing up where I grew up because they don't have as many opportunities for development. So a lot of the youth clubs and stuff have been taken away. I think it's harder now. But yeah, some of the things you see on TV are quite realistic. I think the most realistic I'd seen was the first season or two of Top Boy.
Yeah, I like Top Boy.
Yeah, that's a lot of that was very realistic. But that wasn't life I lived, but people around me did. I had a stable upbringing.
It's one of those, and it's the choices you make as well.
It's the choices. I think it's the choices you make. I think it's the opportunities you have, or people who can help with your development coming up as a kid. I didn't realise until I was an adult that the community leaders who run we call them adventure playgrounds. You know what they are. Yeah, so it's like a youth club with swings and shit like that. Yeah. They even played and I had a very stable upbringing, but they played a role in my development because I don't know. I think sometimes external people outside your home can help. Yeah, definitely. But like essentially, them youth clubs and stuff are gone now. So a lot of the kids, especially where I grew up, which is I think it might be actually the capital of knife crime now. Yeah, in Kennington. So I grew up between the Elephant Castle and Brixton. Yeah. Kennington is bang in the middle, and it's really bad there now. Yeah, I did a few different jobs around Elephant Castle. Before the job that I do now, I did surveillance for benefit cheats and insurance fraud. Yeah, so I'd go out and I'd hide in a van and record people. Yeah. I used to feel quite unsafe at times because I was driving a like a white van basically. Yeah. And you have that parked up anywhere really. People are going to try and test their luck because I've had it even literally when I lived in the old house.
someone tried to break in and steal fucking tools out of it. I ain't got any tools in there. What I've got in there is a big fucking 5 litre jug of piss because I can't get out and take a piss anyway. So I've got a piss in the jug.
Yeah.
So he was in for a bit of a shock when he opened that. But yeah,
but it was all right, you know.
Yeah.
I survived. I mean, went to school in Bermondsey, grew up in Kennington. I'm still there every day for work. But yeah, it's testing.
Yeah. I'll tell you, like you said about the youth like systems and clubs and things like that. That does help mould kids, especially like today.
Yeah, massively.
Like, me and my brother, like, we didn't have a youth club per se. We'd go off and we'd play football. That was our thing.
Yeah.
We'd be part of the youth football team and things like that. And then you go like that. And I suppose even now with your job now with the boxing, that's a massive thing, I think.
Yeah, and you get a lot of kids who just turn up in the gym, a bit lost. I'll help them, you know, on how to do. And the gym that I'm at, Miguel's, they help loads of kids. But apart from the boxing gym or boxing gyms, I mean, there isn't many in London actually. There's a few, but these kids have not really got the resources or the outlets they need because a lot of them are, you know, they might have broken homes or problems at home.
Yeah.
Go to school. After that, they're just running wild. But yeah, boxing definitely helps a lot of kids. A lot.
Yeah, because I always said, like, to a few of my pals and that, they've got, like, especially boys, like, they've got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the time they don't know what to do with it. And they might not like football or anything like that. So I've always been quite passionate about getting them involved in any sort of combat sport.
Yeah.
Whether it's jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, anything like that, because it takes a focus. And not only that, combat sports as a whole, it's the discipline.
Yeah.
Because you have to be disciplined, otherwise you're going to get your head kicked off.
Yeah, you find that out really quick, especially in boxing. You know, people who last are the ones that, you know, understand this only for some. Right. How we started boxing.
Oh yeah. So I was saying about how I wish my old man sort of pushed me into boxing, but he never did. It wasn't until I went to the Air Force that I was like, well, I can actually.
Oh yeah.
I can actually do that now.
Yeah. I'll see you boxed in the army.
I boxed for the Air Force, for a couple of years. I had one. I was supposed to go to there's a Lord Wakefield's tournament, is the big Air Force tournament.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the missus had a miscarriage, so that took priority.
Yeah.
So I didn't fight then, and the fight I did have was in Bolton against a lad that was a good 6'3", I'd say. Bearing in mind I'm only 5'6", and he would have been.
Did you win?
I wasn't in fight shape when I got there either, and they went, "Well, Tommo, you got to fight. We've told you you're fighting." And I was like, "Okay, what weight are you at?" I was like, "Fuck no." I was way up there. I was about. Bearing in mind in the Air Force, the heaviest I got to would have been about 86 kilos, something like that.
Yeah.
I've always been quite stocky, so usually I'd get down to about 75. I think that's welterweight, or middleweight. Yeah. In amateurs. And they went, sorry, Tommo, mate, you're going to have to fight at like heavyweight. I was like, brilliant. I was doing all right. First round, second round, I was doing all right. And then he caught me with a fucking huge overhand right on the top of the head.
Did you know it happened?
My legs completely went, And then I was like, I could hear my coaches saying, Tommo, get up. I was like, my legs aren't letting me get up.
Yeah, equilibrium's gone,
I was gone, and the referee came over and stopped it. And then that was that until I did the white collar boxing, which I'll get your take on these things in a minute. Because when I did the white collar, I fucking loved it. I watched a documentary on it afterwards, and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense why that probably shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I didn't have much of a boxing career. I was on the amateur circuit very briefly, and then there was the opportunity to be a pro. Yeah, and my mum and dad.
Nah, not having it.
Nah, I mean, my mum and dad have been married 40 years. I think that's the only time I think it was like, oh, and that kind of just put a stop to it for me, seeing them argue about it. And,
Yeah.
you know, because I was in the gym every day with a guy called John Rooney. He's a very well-known trainer in London. So that, you know, on the cards to happen, then it stopped, and then boxing was kind of put on the shelf.
Yeah.
But it was always around me because my dad was, I don't want to say the first, but probably one of the first persons to promote white collar boxing.
Oh, right, yeah.
But he also done dinner shows, so he was promoting pro boxing and white collar, a merger of the two. So I just had that around me. I carried on training, but that was kind of it. But how I got into it was through my dad. I remember he brought me to the Peacock Gym in Canning Town, which is not South London. And he didn't really say, it was weird. Like, I remember just going there. Yeah, so I told you, should have said this first. How I started.
That's all good.
I'm not used to talking about myself.
No, don't worry about it.
How I started was going to the Peacock.
Yeah. And
then, as I think about it now, it's strange. I just went in there with him, but he just like didn't really say much. Just brought me.
Yeah.
And he was training, and I remember I sparred with what's his name? Lester Jacobs. He was a pro boxer. It was his son.
I know that name.
Yeah, it's his son. And I got in with his son. He beat me up.
Yeah. It's humbling, isn't it?
Yeah. He beat me up. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's strange.
Yeah.
I found it so strange. I used to love, like, especially with the Air Force, when we were going through proper training days. I'd love it, and I'd get my fucking head kicked in most of the time.
You get a buzz from it.
And it's like, oh, next time I'll be able to get him.
I could hear though, like when I done all right. But I remember he winded me. I was like, fuck that ain't very nice.
Yeah.
But you could hear people talking because there was quite a few people watching a spar. And after that, I had a real addiction for it. I'm a bit of an introvert, and I was comfortable in a boxing gym.
Yeah.
While all my mates played football, doing what I was doing, I was just comfortable there. But then, like I said, the amateur circuit was only so far, and then I looked at being a pro. But then it come to where I was saying to you, like kind of an end. Just shelved it. Didn't want to see mum dad argue. Yeah, and my dad was still doing promotions and this and that, so it was been around me.
Yeah.
That was kind of my entry into it, and I've always had boxing throughout, no matter what I've done near, even if that's helping fighters get sponsorships or. I mean, I coached in the background for years. I'm not actually somebody. I mean, it might look completely like contradictory to like social media, but I hate all of that.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? A lot of people don't realise that, but I'm similar in the way, and a lot of people don't believe me on this.
Yeah, same here. They'll be like,
I went and did a mental health course called Inner Armour.
Yeah,
and he takes you through these questions, and it basically brings you out of yourself, gets you talking about the stuff that you don't want to talk about, etc., etc. And he sat there to me and he went, Tommo, you know you're an introvert, don't you? I went, well, I don't think anyone would agree with you on that. He went, no, you're an introvert, and you overcome that by becoming quite loud.
Yeah, you be an extrovert at work.
Yeah, and he went, and things that you're passionate about, you can talk about and all this. And I was like, yeah, I think you're quite, because normally, like, if I don't know someone, I won't be able to go up and have a conversation with them.
No, I'm not like that. Yeah,
I wouldn't go. If you were at a bar, for example, I didn't know you, I wouldn't go. I'd probably just go, I'll just have a beer on my own.
Yeah.
When my old man, on the other hand, he could go to the bar and make fucking 5 new mates just by sitting in the pub.
Yeah, I mean, I can, if I have to go into a situation, but I wouldn't choose to.
Yeah.
So the whole what was that? How do we get onto that? So I don't like talking about myself or something.
Yeah, because it's social media. Because your social media is quite.
Yeah,
it's actually very well made.
Oh, do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, like I was saying, I was in the background for years, but was quite comfortable there, in the shadows. Not really interested in. I don't really care about fame or exposure. I'm not bothered by it.
I know exactly what you mean.
If anything, it made me feel massively uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think I was too bothered about people's opinion of me.
Yeah.
And I made the kind of decision I actually don't give a fuck now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I think
like we're singing off the same song.
only the closest people,
Hmm.
only those very, very few people, I actually will care what they think.
Yeah.
Anyone like past that, I really, it's just an opinion. It's not a fact.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I really don't care.
It's
So I branded what I was doing. That's,
Yeah.
that's the only reason I got social media. I don't even run it really.
Yeah.
Like I look on it occasionally. But Wrapped Up Fighting, only the name started in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's brilliant. I really do. And
I appreciate it.
And seeing things, because most of the time the trainer and obviously hand wrapping and things like that, not many people understand it and see what the work the trainer does. Because obviously the main focus is the fighter.
Yeah, and it should be.
And it should be, because it's his job, isn't it?
You're, as a trainer or your staff, and you're selected to work, by a fighter on a, it might be a few fight basis, or it might be long term.
Yeah. You
do deal with a lot. You're probably the closest person after the fighter. You don't fight, but you go through everything up, and you just don't do that bit. You go through a lot, but I enjoy it most of the time.
It's got to be mixed emotions, like.
Yeah, of course.
And I'd like to get your take on this in a second, because I'll talk about this in a second. Because obviously I'm quite good mates now with Mason Jones, who's now fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I've watched the last couple of his fights. One of them didn't go his way, where he lost. It was a very close fight. Second one was should have been a no contest. I think it did get put down as a no contest. He accidentally poked someone in the eye, unfortunately. But it's hard to watch because he's my mate.
Yeah.
And you must build up these relationships with the fighters, and then you see him in the fight. It's like
they're like your children.
Yeah, it must be difficult to.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the type of guest coach you are. I think for me, coaching is not just like holding a pair of pads or going to the gym. It's the whole thing, making sure they're mentally all right, physically okay, just doing everything. So yeah, I mean, I worry about them. I think about them day and night. So I'd switch off from it sometimes. I'm very really passionate about it. And I'm more excited to see the people I train fight than scared. But you'd have that natural anxiety when they fight.
Yeah, that's horrible anxiety, I find.
I think with boxing, where I'm used to seeing, a lot of top sparring going on, and you're around that as well. If you know their capabilities, it's a lot different. But listen, as things press on, you're gonna win or lose. And I always say it to them, it's just, as long as they come out with their health all right, that's all that really matters. It's just a business at the end of the day. You just got to have your best go at it. But yeah, you do worry about them.
Definitely. It must be because obviously every fighter is going to be different on this as well. But obviously you're going to be there for the highest of the highs when they win. And when I won my white collar fight, I've never been higher. Like I won it, and I by knockout, I might add. For those that are listening, yeah, he was bigger than me as well. Fucking massive, the bloke was. But he pissed me off because he had a burger before the fight, and it pissed me off.
Well,
and I remember sitting there with the missus afterwards, and she was like, "Were you ever worried about losing?" I was like, "I wasn't going down in front of the missus. I'm not going down."
No.
But yeah, I was never on even the after do that we do. We went out to the beer cellar and got really fucking pissed. But I've never been so like on cloud 9. You might want to say I've been fucking buzzing for weeks.
Change like that though.
Exactly. And if I rewind to my fight in Bolton, I've never been so gutted. I was in fucking bits, mate. I was sat in the minibus on the way home. I think the whole team lost. I don't think any of us won the fight. And I remember phoning my brother, and I was just I just burst into tears. He's like, "Why are you crying?" I went, "Mate, I've just
drained."
I went. Even walking, I knew I had a feeling I wasn't going to win that fight because I was walking to the ring and my legs felt heavy anyway because I basically had an adrenaline dump. I didn't know what that was. And I got there, I was like, and I think there was 5 of us Air Force blokes versus God knows how many people out of different gyms in Bolton. But yeah, I was like proper low, and
Mm.
not one of the coaches from the Air Force team actually came over and was like, "Are you all right?"
They're not good coaches.
No, terrible coaches, mate. Terrible. And obviously, each fight is different, but sometimes you need, even if they just come over and go, "Are you all right, by the way?"
Everyone needs that.
Yeah.
I think. And everyone needs a proverbial pat on the back too.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how tough you are.
Definitely.
You know, and yet these guys go through a lot. And to be honest, they don't really earn any money till they get to championship level.
Yeah, true.
You know, they earn enough to probably just about live and cover their, like, not live well.
No, it's what a lot of people have that perception, don't they, where they think it's all fucking high life. It's like
People think I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
But like, you don't earn money until you get to a certain level in boxing. So they're dealing with that. They're dealing with the highs and lows. But then, I believe I'm the person that has to manage that for them.
Yeah, like the
sorry.
shepherd of the flock, isn't it?
I like the way you said that. But
yeah,
I just look on my life experiences and what I've been through and the things I've overcome, and I use that as a tool in my armory. Because I said to you, like, coaching isn't all about fancy pad combinations or, you know, what you do in the gym. It's multiple things. So one of my things as a coach is I'm very good at dealing with people's mental health.
Yeah.
So I bring that to the table. If you're my fighter or if I'm working in a team with other coaches, you can ring me at 4 in the morning if you've got a problem. It's fine. You know? And I'm not gonna not answer the phone. It's a priority. It's something that is, you know, I'm not going to say missing in this sport, but I think it's something that needs to become more apparent because,
I think just touching on that, I think it's missing in quite a few sports. Looking at what's been going on in the Olympics and whatnot as well.
It's tricky, you know. Mental health in sport is, I think, toxic masculinity is something that shrouds it, and you've got to look at the facts. If you just spoke about boxing, you know, getting punched in the head for a living is probably going to have an effect on you one way or another.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so yeah, I just check. I just always try and check they're all right.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt to ask.
And it's one of those as well, isn't it? It's not hard to do.
No, but a lot of them don't sometimes know how to take it.
Yeah,
because I'm meant to be a boxer or macho, nothing's a problem.
Yeah,
when really most people, to be honest with you, and not just fighters, most people in boxing are hurting.
Yeah,
it's a sport full of broken people, in my experience.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think no normal person gets into
boxing.
No,
you don't. No,
you've got to be a bit weird.
Yeah,
to get punched in the head.
Yeah, definitely. There's got to be something not quite right, and I think touching back onto what we started off on at the beginning, you tend to find some of the best boxers come from that sort of broken, street kids,
or troubled people.
Take AJ for example.
Yeah, you know, AJ, Shannon Courtney, Dylan White. You know, just look up the history. But it's also saved a lot of people. Yeah. So it's a sport where if you do the work and if you're good enough, you get the results.
Yeah. And also, just it makes you feel good as well. Like, I've never had harder training sessions than boxing training sessions.
I think it's the hardest sport in the world.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree.
That being said, I think a lot of fighting sports off. You know, I didn't fight, but I practiced Muay Thai for years. Yeah. And when I went to Thailand, they beat the life out of me.
They're horrible.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember I actually used some of the methods when I come back. I learned out there. They condition with sticks.
Yes.
I was
to build up all the scar tissue and kill the nerves and all that.
I was working with some lads a few years ago. Put the rounds in red. You just smack them in the stomach with a stick. But you just carry on jabbing them for a while. But it really does condition.
You see Pacquiao do it, didn't he? I
didn't know that. I'm a big Pacquiao fan. I didn't know that. It makes sense. He's Filipino.
I'm sure I've seen it before where they hit him with the sticks, especially around his abs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go. But that's some of the stuff that They do. It's different level, but yeah, I think fighting sports, I'd say, are just they're different to football and
Yeah,
rugby, and fighting's different.
you find I haven't had any. Yes, I have. I've had a professional women's football player on, but I've had a lot of fighters on, and as much as they are in a team, whether it's a fight camp or whatever,
yeah,
you're on your own. At the end of the day, you step into the ring or the octagon or whatever, and you're fighting the bloke opposite you.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Exactly.
I can try and speak to you in the corner.
Yeah,
but I can't help you fight.
I couldn't even hear my corner.
But that's the thing in boxing, that at an elite level, you have to make sure you practice, because when these guys fight, it's like, I compare it to, if I'm a teacher at school and I teach you English or maths or whatever, I can only teach you stuff and you can do your homework. But if you fuck the exam up, that's not my fault.
No, that's on.
It is though. Normally in boxing, I'll get the blame.
Yeah,
most of the time they go, it's your fault, I need a new coach.
Yeah,
when in reality,
you've seen that in a few top level.
And listen, coaches are bottom of the barrel. We're replaceable, and that's how it is. We're not treated very well.
Yeah, they try to say it's down to the strategy and all that, and a lot of the time they'll go, well, the trainer didn't do this.
Luckily, everyone I work with treats me very well, and I'm in good teams, and I don't have these problems. But
it's always good.
We even I'm lucky, and we even get trainers get paid the least amount of money. We do the most work. But it's just how it is.
Yeah, it's one of those. It is what it is. That's what I signed up for, and that's what you do.
Yeah,
and touching back on the old toxic masculinity and whatnot, and like you said, I'm a fighter. I shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
that. But that goes with a lot of different things. Like in the military, we'll take it down to like my level. It's exactly the same, and you find there's a lot of people now speak about it, but still nothing gets done.
I don't think a lot of people know how many options there are.
I agree.
Because I don't feel like the government do enough.
I also agree with that.
And I think that, to touch on it from a male perspective, for example, antidepressants work for 1 in 20 people. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
There you go. So if 20 people see at the doctors, they might get some tablets, might work for one of them.
Yeah.
Then you get a place maybe on a waiting list. By that time, the person could have killed themselves. We don't have testosterone replacement therapy on the NHS. That's horrendous. Go to the States, it's like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You pay for it, but I say it's like that in, exposure-wise. Everyone knows about TRT.
Yeah.
The correlation between sorting your hormones out and anxiety and depression are just like 1 + 1.
Yeah.
Testosterone replacement should be normalised, because I bet you know about HRT.
Yeah.
Women get HRT. There you go. But have you been offered TRT?
No.
How old are you?
34.
You should have it, because you drop every year from 25.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
But the lack of knowledge and information.
Yeah. I think with that as well, I think a lot of, like you said, the lack of knowledge and information is a huge thing, especially with things like TRT.
Yeah.
Because they'll go, what is it? Oh, it's testosterone.
Steroids.
And they'll go, well, you can't have more. You don't need more.
No, and they think steroids.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I do need it.
It's your prime hormone that you need as a man.
Definitely.
I know. I spent many years as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So I know everything about hormones. Hence the reason I know about TRT.
The reason why I know TRT is obviously through UFC and whatnot, because it used to be accepted in the UFC. And then you see some of the fucking fighters and you're like, hang on a minute.
The thing is, they're just going different. Like, drugs in sports I don't agree with, because they're just doing superhuman amounts of stuff that they don't need to do. But outside of the sporting, situation, having your hormones regulated to the number they should be is fine.
Yeah.
Doing a load of stuff that you shouldn't do is not fine.
No.
But the mental health problem in general,
I never would have. Obviously, I know it's an imbalance in fucking hormones and whatnot with depression, So I was on, I think my ones were Sterling.
Sertraline.
Might have been Cetraline.
Yeah.
It's either Sterling or Cetraline.
Cetrafine or something like that. I've heard of them. Yeah.
That's what I was on. And if I'm honest, they made me numb. So
Well, that's good for the NHS, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
you shut up then.
yeah, exactly. That's basically what happened. I was numb. But not only that, like, I know the missus won't like me saying this, but other things got affected.
Yeah, but they will.
And I was like my fucking libido went down when we did do things. Things didn't want to fucking
And then
work
how's that
properly.
going to make you feel?
And
not
I
very
was
good?
like, and then literally we'd be up in the bedroom. I'd finish, or not finish, should I say? and then it was like, and then I'd be fucking upset and disappointed and fucking take it out on her and
Get TRT.
and blah blah blah. But I stopped taking them and like an idiot, I did it the wrong way. I was like, I'm not being reliant on little white tablets anymore, so I just stopped. Took me a while to get over that because obviously I had to flush out my system properly, and I was an asshole for a good couple of weeks. But then, yeah, I've been off them now for probably almost a year.
You know, there's other things.
Yeah, but you don't get told that either. So
You know now?
I do know now. But
It's the price of a cup of coffee a day.
Yeah,
It's cheap.
because yeah, if I didn't have this conversation, I wouldn't have known that. I would have just.
You go to, you know, the right people privately. It probably costs you £1,000 for the year. What's that over 365 days?
I don't know.
It's the price of a cup of coffee.
I'm really good at maths.
It's like one. I don't even think it's. I think it is just like buying a drink every day.
Yeah.
But if you regulate your hormones,
Yeah.
those problems can decrease. I'm not saying they will, but I just think mental health in general in this country is completely fucked.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And like you said, government, it fucking winds me up a little bit because they talk the talk. Right?
They're full of shit, man.
And they are. And it's the same as what I had a mental resilience coach on a few weeks back. And he made a very good point. We're all aware now.
Yeah.
They've done enough on telly, adverts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everybody is mental health aware now. You'd like to think. But that's it. It's like, now what?
I think a lot of people, there's a lot of an anxiety pandemic as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
Everyone's got anxiety, but everyone will. I think people are aware, and I feel like a lot of people get upset about natural human emotion.
Yes.
Because we're all going to be happy, sad, anxious, excited. I don't know how many emotions there are, but they're natural reactions.
Yeah.
If you stab yourself in the hand with a knife, it will hurt, pain. If a car comes crashing through the window, you're going to have fear.
Oh, fucking
not. when you won your boxing fight, you had excitement.
Yeah.
You know, all these things.
Yeah.
Right. So when you feel anxious, that's all right.
Yeah.
But I had anxiety so bad, Jesus Christ, I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
I dealt with it on my own, and that's not a dig at night, no friends, family members, but I wasn't very good at like explaining what it was.
No, I know what you mean by that as well.
I was just like,
I had a bit of an anxiety attack a few weeks back with we were fucking, where were we? Well, we're in Maidstone in the mall, as they call it.
Yeah.
Not a mall. It's fucking
Yeah.
shit. We went into Blendini, I think it was. The girls wanted a fucking milkshake and whatnot. There wasn't even that many people in there, mate. But I was in there and I was like, for some reason, I got really hot. I started pacing about, and Kate was going, "How are you?" I was like, I really don't know, but I need to get out of here because I'm getting fucking.
I felt like that when I went to Blue Water, and I don't go shopping, by the way.
Yeah.
There was people everywhere. I was like, don't feel great.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know that at the time. I was like, I was getting like anxious. I was like going, right, Kate, I need to get out of here because I'm getting hot.
That's okay though.
Yes,
but you just think,
but
it's just all right though. But you've got to just think it's just an anxiety.
But it's one of those though.
Why don't we address it as like the be all and end all of like, oh, I'm anxious now, I'm fucked.
Yeah, because that's how you're basically told, isn't it?
I think because of awareness, because awareness is like, oh, anxiety's here.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah.
I think one of the things that helped me deal with anxiety and depression, I've had depression. I've been clinically diagnosed with a few things: OCD, anxiety, depression. I've had all that. But one of the things that helped me was understanding my subconscious mind. Yeah. Do you know much about it?
Not too much, but
the simplest way I have it is I always think my conscious mind's at the front, subconscious at the back. You think of a library you went to as a kid or anything, or do you guys, I don't know, you might go to one now. Can you see it?
You're talking to me?
Yeah, can you see it? Yeah.
I can see a library, yeah. Right. Never went in there.
Right. You can see that. You see a cinema?
Yeah.
Right. What can you see in the library?
Fucking books everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah, and in the cinema, what can you see? You
see the screen.
Right.
You see beds where you sat.
Yeah. So your subconscious mind is like a library and a cinema, I think, because you get pieces of information that pop up and you get visuals that pop up.
Yeah.
It's most active, I think, when you're asleep.
Yeah.
You dream.
Yeah, of course.
You might have weird dreams and you think, oh, what do they mean? Like mad stuff.
Constantly, I've got some good dreams.
Right. And you wake up, might think about them, they can fade, but then through the day you'll have more things that pop up. So it's like a free ticket to the cinema and a free library card. Right. You see the library you think about, or the cinema, the books are on something in the library, aren't they? What are they on? What's the books on in the library?
Well, for me?
Yeah. Not the subjects, what are they actually sitting on?
Oh, they're sitting on a shelf.
Right, and what's the movie playing on?
On the screen.
So I think the subconscious mind is no different to the screen and the shelves in the library. It's a support system for things you don't understand. Because the screen and the shelf in the library, in the cinema, don't know nothing about the books or the movie, does it?
No.
At all. There's no way that shelf knows about that. Doesn't.
No,
it's just
no, I see what you mean, yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So when these things pop up...
I'm stealing this, by the way.
No?
I'm stealing this.
Go for it. So when these things pop up, they're just replaying.
Yeah.
Or showing you stuff. But it doesn't know what they are. It's a storage system. So when you go out every day and you look for these and you use this, you see new things, you hear new things. It puts more stuff in there. Over time, you've got like a massive portfolio of information. So it's going to start replaying. But your conscious mind decides what you do with it. So when something pops up in your mind that's bad, PTSD in the army, something that happens wherever, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
No.
In present time, because it's just a memory, isn't it? Or it's just a thought that exists. It's not a definite. So when thoughts pop up that make us anxious, like I might be sitting there thinking, he might stab me with that knife in a minute. He might.
Might, yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to, does it? I hope. No. But if I just keep focusing on that, I lose the present moment.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it sounds confusing, but what I'm trying to say is subconscious thoughts, if you control them with a conscious mind and you make decisions, you just think, it's just a thought. Just sweep it away and deal with what's in front of you. You can live in the moment a bit more. Because I think we spend so much time in the past or in the future, and then this thing we got now just gets fucked.
Because that's the main. I got taught that at the Inner Armour course that I did. Obviously, depression, PTSD, those sorts of things. That's history. That's history. Yeah. Like you said, that's locked away.
Yeah.
That's stuffed back there, and it likes to pop up every now and then and try and annoy you. And then obviously anxiety is you worrying about things in the future.
Yeah.
So you're always, especially if you suffer with bad mental health issues, you tend to swing from the fucking past and then in the future, and you're like you just said,
would you lose the present?
And then you're not. Yeah.
Right, but you also might think, if I say to you, these things don't matter anymore, you might think, oh, fuck yourself. What do you mean it doesn't matter? I've been through this, I've been through that. It's not that it doesn't matter. Of course, things matter. It's just that it doesn't matter present day now.
No, it doesn't matter now.
Because all you got is now. That stuff's not doing you no favours.
And the amount of stuff that I missed out with especially with the girls was because I was too focused on the past.
Me too.
And
yeah, I've done the same.
And
fuck shit up that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Push people away.
Yeah, that was my main thing.
Yeah, I've done that.
And like you asked before we hit record about the difference between what I did and what I do now.
Yeah.
And the main thing for a lot of servicemen, and I'll speak from my opinion, through my eyes, was that my main thing for my depression was the fact that I had a loss of self.
Yeah, of course, that must be really hard there.
And for a lot of servicemen, I'll speak as a broad spectrum. You wake up every morning and you're putting on your uniform. That's my old uniform in the army. You're putting that on. You go into the hangar. You start your day, and then it's little things like you go out to a bar. Someone asks you what you do for a living. You go, oh, I'm a soldier in the forces. All right, you've been away. Like you ask where you've been anyway. Oh yeah, I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to now, and I'm head of security.
Yeah.
But still, it's like someone will ask it, and it's like,
yeah, you feel hero to zero.
I'm a fucking security
officer. No, you
go,
you feel hero to zero, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not the reality, is it?
No, and that's what a lot of especially veterans need to realise. Even boxers, to some extent, you've done. Still be proud of all that.
Of course, man. Like I said to you before you started recording it, I didn't have the balls to do what you've done. But I admire people like you. I really do. And it's just, I also drive a black cab, and the amount of people. Thank you. The amount of people I see who've done your job at night, homeless.
Yeah, that's a pandemic in itself. Mate.
That, I mean, the amount of them I've given my dinner to. I just give them to. I give them money. I do what I can actually.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Scottish bloke called Michael. I hope he's still there. You know, near the Shaftesbury Avenue Theatre. I used to see him all the time. Ex-serviceman. Even when we was demonstrating the black cabs, he was there giving leaflets out. They're just so fucked up. They end up together on the pavement. It's like they're on the trenches outside again.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Do you know what I mean?
It's because
you haven't had enough done. I think when you come home, you should be given a house. This is my honest thing. I think once you've done what you've done, you should be given a house, be given a salary for the rest of your life, and be looked after. But unfortunately, it ain't that way.
I agree in some extent. You know what I mean? Like, I literally, before you arrived, I was on Facebook standard, and I saw my mum's husband was on there, and he's just had his state pension stuff come through. He's also I think he did 22 years or maybe even more than that in the army, served in Northern Ireland, etc. And he gets taxed. So I think it was £100 and something a week or whatever, or a month, or whatever, I can't remember. It was £100 and something that he got from state pension alongside his military pension, and he gets taxed £83 of this 100 and something.
Why is he paying tax?
It's mad, isn't it?
But why? So he's done how many 22 years?
Yeah.
For his in country. Is that not enough tax?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
They're just cunts. Sorry,
you could say that.
They're just cunts. They make me sick.
Yeah, I agree.
You've done 22 years. Why these upper class cunts sit at home talking bollocks?
Yeah. And
then he has to pay 83% back to them.
Yeah.
That's where all the tax goes, don't it?
Yeah. It goes on their fancy do's and whatnot.
But yeah.
I saw something Facebook related again, talking about politicians and that. And one of my best mates' mums posted something about Boris and put, he's a liar, etc. I was like, yeah, cool. And I just put underneath a picture of Tony Blair and I went, well, this guy's a war criminal.
Do you know what? You know what? I don't vote.
Do you know?
No. I try occasionally to spoil the ballot paper and vote for none of the above. But I can't be fucked, to be honest, because I don't feel like I live in a world that they care. I don't think my vote counts.
No, I'm starting to get to that point. I usually vote. I'm not going to say what I normally vote for, but I feel very let down every single fucking time.
Because they promise you stuff. And like I was saying to you earlier, you know, I see them do things like socially cleanse poor areas in London.
Yeah.
Those youth clubs and the youth club I spoke about, where the guys who worked in there helped my personal development growing up, they've ripped that out to build flats in that no one can afford. What the fuck am I going to vote for these people for?
Yeah.
I'm not interested. My thing is this, to be honest, mate. I get up every day. I do my best. I'll help anyone, and then I try and finish the day by surviving, and then I wake up and I just go again. I don't partake in the news.
I try not to watch the news.
I don't vote. I don't. I just try and be a good person. I think being a good person is better than doing any of the other shit, because I think if this last year or so has taught us anything, is that these fuckers are full of shit.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I said that basically from the fucking start, mate.
And how many people are fucking probably killing themselves because of debt right now?
Yeah, debt and especially fucking debt. But even like we've been talking for quite a majority of this with the mental health and shit. Those that got locked away and put in lockdown that live on their own.
Old people, especially. Yeah. Any people, but old people. Yeah, on their own. All this stuff about you can't see this one, you can't see that one.
Yeah,
it was all a load of bollocks, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been saying that from the start. I never said that it wasn't a fake fucking virus.
Oh, no, it's real. I've had it.
Yeah.
Did you have it?
No,
I've
just had it.
Yeah, I had it. It was nasty. It was hard, but the whole thing, it's just a bit odd to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on, especially with that fucking dickhead they got caught out cheating on his missus.
Matt Hancock.
Yeah, there's so much shit that like they've caught him out on that, but nobody said a word when he's doing all these fucking dirty deals with the NHS and his fucking.
They're like I said, they're cunts. They do what they want. That's why I don't partake in it.
3% pay rise for the fucking NHS as well.
There you go. That's what I mean. This is the thing. That's why, like, I try and create my own reality.
Yeah.
Just try and do my own stuff. I don't really. I'm happier that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean, mate.
And people go, when they get in my cab, I've had people like, for Brexit, do you vote in or out?
You must love conversations.
Listen. You must vote. Really? Why is that then?
Yeah.
Oh, because you must. No, I haven't. I'll do whatever I like, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, did you vote in or out? Neither. Just not. They don't know what to say.
No.
Like, I'm not socially fucking programmed.
No.
Oh, I must do this. I must do that. I must go to work 9 to 5. Bollocks. What's the point in that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm probably half dead anyway. I'm going to start listening to these people.
Nah.
I'm interested in that, mate.
Nah. It's fucking tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going to your black cab now. I love the fact you drive a black cab. Yeah. It was in London you were driving about,
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard though. I got lost in London all the fucking
time. No, that bit's easy. I'm pretty good at it. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I was always good at it.
Like a fake taxi written on the side of it.
No comment. Because I grew up in London, I had a good general understanding.
Yeah.
Studying it, I realised I didn't, because the way they make you learn it is the knowledge. You know about the knowledge.
I've heard like
a bit like this. So you're there and I'm here, but it's more formal. You have a desk and a map.
Yeah.
I walk in and you ask me 4 questions. Each question is a place to a place, and I have to tell you how to get from A to B across that map. You do that over a course of exams. The examiner decides your fate. Doesn't matter how well you've done. There's like 10 examiners. They've all got different personalities. You don't know who you're going to see until you go up there. It's like waiting in the dentist changing room, dentist waiting room.
Don't usually get changed at dentist, but yeah, go on.
There you go. And yeah, then they just fucking put you through it. I think the knowledge was probably the hardest thing I ever did. I'd rather fight Anthony Joshua than do knowledge again. The knowledge is really...
He punches really hard.
I'd rather take one on the chin. It is really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
It was mentally hard. I was bodybuilding at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think it helped. I was going up there, I could hardly do my collar up on my shirt. And it was like,
thick neck.
Yeah, big neck like a staff.
Like fucking Mike Tyson neck.
Yeah. And yeah, that didn't help me. So their perception of me was one thing, but then the reality is different. I wasn't an arsehole. But it taught me, knowledge taught me a lot about myself. A lot. And there was one guy in particular. There was two, but the one bloke I remember was a bloke called Mr. Swire, and he was one of the senior examiners. And I failed my first 5 exams in a row.
Yeah.
Right, slaughtered. I went up there and I remember I said to her, if I don't pass today, I'm giving up. And even now, I don't give up. I can't imagine even me saying that now.
Yeah.
And I went in and I remember this bloke, he asked me these 4 questions. You know how big a London map is?
Yeah.
It was from corner to corner. Like, they were fucking massive. Anyway, smashed these 4 questions out the park. But didn't realise that until he told me I had. He said, I don't know what these other examiners see. He talks like that. He said, I don't know what these other examiners see, sir. He's got like a mad lisp. He said, but you can score me today. I fucking burst into tears.
Yeah.
And every time I see him, he put me through it. He's a human computer. I remember he said to me, you like working out, sir? I was like, yeah. He said, anything else you like doing? I said, I like boxing. I liked jiu-jitsu when I was a kid. Didn't find out till afterwards. He was like a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He said, who taught you jiu-jitsu? I said, didn't do it for long. Like, I said, a bloke called George. He grew up in the Elephant Castle. He said, George Andrews, Marble Factory. I was like, how the fuck does he know this? He started asking me places because the exam starts by them asking you one place. Yeah. So they might say to you, Granite Zero podcast. You say Cork Street. Yeah. Right? If you don't know it, he'll pick another one. Do you understand? Yeah. He was picking things up where I grew up that I didn't even realise were there. Mental. But anyway, long story short, I got lost in the knowledge there. Yeah, he really fucking he made me. I remember each stage I went through. When I saw him, he gave me the goodwill to carry on, and the knowledge helped me so much. Yeah. And I had the hardest examiner, Mr. Mark Gunning, his name is. I had him at the start and I had him at the end. And I remember saying to him like afterwards, do you have to call him sir or mum? Yeah. I said, sir. He said, you can call me Mark now. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'll just call you sir. I said, what? Why did I? Because they put me through it. I worked really hard at it. Like, and I don't sound good at many things. I was good at it. I went to the school to study and everything, but I got absolutely smashed to pieces every time I went up there. I remember I just said to him, why did that happen to me? He said, you weren't ready for it. He said, you weren't mentally capable enough. And you were too angry with yourself and all this stuff to be a cab driver. And he was right. Yeah. So it was such a good thing that they done for me. That's awesome. Yeah, they had.
So it's like they saw that there's potential.
Yeah, but you were not ready yet. So we need to make you, you know what I mean? We need to make sure that you're ready. And they did. It taught me a lot. After doing that, honestly, I don't think I'd give up on anything. But driving a cab's nice. Like, you meet a lot of nice people. You meet some arseholes, but they're very easy to deal with. Yeah. They're normally posh boys who have too much to drink. No, the cab's good. It's good.
But it is.
I ain't been good the last year or so.
No, obviously not.
No, it's all right. It's good. I enjoy it. So I'm proud to drive a cab, to be honest.
Yeah, especially that type of cab as well. They're like iconic, and
I've got the last one ever made.
Genuine.
Yeah, before they made the electric one. You seen that?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
There's a new TXE, I think it's called. The TX4 is a traditional model, so there was 300 made. I've got the number 300. You've got to see it. It's the last London cab ever made.
There you go.
Before they made the new one. Yeah, but no, it's a good job. Yeah, it's just fucking tiring.
I bet it is. I bet it can be quite draining as well.
Well, if you're working in boxing in the morning, and you have a few hours in the afternoon to yourself, then I'll probably work from like 3 o'clock in the afternoon now till 2 in the morning. So yeah, it's tiring, but it could be worse, couldn't it? You know what I mean? Could be it could be a bricklayer or a fucking scaffolder. That's real work. I'm just driving around talking.
The Mrs. cousin he's doing our garden. Yeah, he's a landscaper. And
that's hard work.
Yeah, looking at that, I was like, fuck that noise. Yeah, I can barely do anything unless it involves a hammer.
Why do you be a cab driver?
I got the knowledge.
You have a go at it, mate. It's never too late.
No, you're right. Yeah. One thing I do want to quickly touch on before we close off. What do you personally make of these YouTubers now fighting?
boxing is a business.
Yeah.
And it's an entertainment business. People like to see knockouts.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And there is a place for it. I'm not saying I entertain it.
Yeah.
I would though. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. That's
if you offer someone millions of pounds.
Yeah, me and my brother had this conversation. I'm pissed off. Me and my brother had this conversation the other day. It's like, I don't like it because obviously you got fucking fighters that are coming up through the ranks that are really trying to make their fucking. And then you get.
There's a reason I don't like it. And
some guy that comes out of fucking Disney Channel.
I don't mind that. The problem I have with this is, I understand it. I would entertain it if I was them. You've got to earn your money in life.
Yeah.
Someone's going to offer you millions of quid, millions of pounds, millions of whatever. You're going to take it. But I do feel sorry for these fighters. And like I said to you, that, you know, they ain't earning no money so they come to championship level. Pardon me. I do feel sorry for these like working their fucking bollocks off who have to see this.
Yeah.
And you could say to them, yeah, work harder. I understand, but it'd be different if they were on, you know, the same money as, you know, young footballers are.
Yeah.
Academy footballers. Yeah.
Pardon me. Yeah.
These are on fuck all. So, because when you get signed by, you know, a big promotional company, no names, but some of the biggest in boxing, they say, right, Tommo, yeah, boom, I'll sign you up. There you go. Done. You get nothing. You don't get signing on fee like in football.
Yeah.
You get nothing. So then, why it annoys me is these people land in front of me or other trainers, and they say, "Oh, could you train me?" But I don't have any money.
Yeah.
And then when they fight, I'm entitled to 10%. So they might fight $4 grand. It's 400 quid.
Yeah.
And so that problem is annoying, and you do see people earning millions of pounds. So yeah, there's the two sides of it. So it don't like, I'm not bothered by it, but I understand why it's annoying.
Yeah, I can see why.
Do you know what I mean?
I can see why, like.
I see why the boxers are really like.
Yeah, I can see that, and then you can see.
But then I know they'd all jump on it.
Yeah, if you see a lot of not lower level, but we'll take Fury's brother for example.
Yeah.
Tommy, he's had what? 8 fights? Is it 8 fights?
I don't know his record.
He hasn't had many, is he? No. But he's like, well, I'll fight fucking Jake Paul. Like,
I don't blame him.
I'm sure you would.
Yeah, but
and you'll probably beat him.
Every boxer, but I think all of them would.
Yeah, but it's like Jake Paul's not going to go, I'm going to fight Tommy Fury.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to go, I'm going to fight Ben Askren, who is a UFC fighter. Fantastic record within MMA. Because he's a wrestler, he can take you down. He's got probably the worst boxing I've ever seen.
It's like a pantomime.
Yeah. Well, I actually watched a bit of that on I think it was on DAZN or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I watched a bit of it, and it was Justin Bieber singing. They had fucking Snoop Dogg doing the commentary, and I was like, what does Snoop Dogg know about boxing?
Everyone knows everything about boxing now.
They do. Everyone's a fucking pro.
Everyone's a pro trainer, everyone's a pro fighter, but it's just like, you know what? If you can get on and make your money, good luck to you. But it is getting a bit much now. Like everyone's fighting everyone. Yeah, I think it will die down on like a certain level. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So you've got some proper fights obviously coming up. You've got AJ versus Usyk.
Oh yeah.
That'll be a good fight, I think.
Yeah.
That Usyk, he's dead behind the eyes, isn't he? He's scary. Fucking.
I think he's a problem for any of them.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead behind the eyes. He's a killer.
He
when he fought Tony Bellew, I was like, oh,
you know.
That's the only way I could describe that. I was like,
do you know when I knew he was ready for the heavyweight division? When he fought Derek. Did you watch the Derek Chisora fight?
I think I did, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. And I was in the camp with Derek. And I'd watched what he was doing to his sparring partners, and I'd seen like how capable, and everyone knows how capable Derek is, but I was basically in there because a guy that I helped Dean White train, IFE Porter, was sparring with him. So he was down there, and I was dead certain he was going to beat the life out of Usyk, and I think he did like an amazing job in that fight. But for Usyk to withstand the unforgiving forward fighting of Derek Chisora and hurt him in the 7th round, I was very impressed. So if he can do that to Derek, he can do it to any of them.
Yeah.
You know, and all respect to Derek, you know, he's still a tremendous fighter. It's like he's got better with age, I believe.
Yeah, he's one of those that's, as he's got...
People have got this thing, oh, when you get old, no, I think Derek's got better.
Yeah.
You know, I think he won his last fight against Parker as well. That was really upsetting to watch that.
It
just goes to show what people are like in boxing. They just fucked him, you know?
And it's like a fucking Dana White says in the UFC, you don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Obviously, sometimes you got to
knock these guys out.
But sometimes
if you're not the favourite or they're not, you got to knock these fuckers out. And because Derek didn't knock him out, they give him the fight. But what was I saying to you? Usyk, when he fights AJ, unless AJ knocks him out, I don't think he'll win.
Really?
Yeah, AJ probably will knock him out, I think. But if he doesn't, I don't think AJ is as capable in his movement. He's not naturally as well adapted as Usyk as that.
I've said that to a few of my mates, and they've said, like, oh, AJ's fucking brilliant. I was like, yeah, but he's quite rigid.
He's that type of guy, yeah. He's a tremendous boxer for that type of boxer. He's a great boxer, but it's just like, it's not a personal thing. It's just like when I look at it, I think, okay, if you're up against that guy, unless you do this, it's only my opinion. Yeah. If you don't knock him out, I don't think you've got a good chance of winning because of how much frequency and volume and execution Usyk has got in his repertoire. Yeah. You know, he's so slick and his movement is so unorthodox. Someone as bulky and big as AJ will probably find that difficult. I want AJ to win, but I just think unless he knocks him out, it's tough. The thing is with Usyk, he does get caught. Yeah. He has got a chin, took a lot off Derek. Oh, you've got to reference that. If he catches a right hand off of Anthony Joshua, no, he ain't going to get up. No. AJ hits hard. He punched through a brick wall. But I'm really interested to see that more so than I am the Fury fight.
Yeah, I was a bit upset by that. It just because obviously they were building up for this big super fight. And then obviously Wilder did his thing where he was like, well, I've got a rematch clause. It's like, well, fair one, you've got a rematch clause. But look, it's not one of those trilogies that I'm excited to see.
But people will pay for it.
Yeah, they will. You are right.
It's just business, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it doesn't generate as much interest just through the fact that everybody knows that Fury won the first fight.
Yeah, the thing is that you got to remember.
But again, it's one of those, isn't it? Like you said,
the longer they prolong him fighting AJ, the more anticipation they build and the more money gets earned. Yeah. That's all it is. You know, because after that, I mean, who does AJ and Fury don't need to fight anyone else really, do they? No. Like what? I mean, might fight a YouTuber.
Might do.
Probably get paid more money. Well, not more, but they're going to get. I don't know how much they're going to get fighting each other. I've heard ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, I've heard some silly numbers, but you probably heard sillier numbers.
Yeah, but it's just like, you know, that fight, the trilogy fight, they'll do that, and you know, a nice wage off that, and then go on and fight each other twice, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, depending on it, innit?
Yeah, it's difficult for the rest of the division. You know, you have people like Dylan White waiting such a long time. He's done tremendously down his career.
Yeah, considering how, like, he's not been fighting that long either, is he?
No, I think he only had 10 amateur fights. Yeah, he's done really well. You know, Derek's had a great career. Now you got Usyk in that division. Daniel Dubois is like still an up and coming fighter in that division. Joe Joyce has come back on to do really well. I didn't see his fight the other night. No, I need to watch that. But yeah, there's plenty of good fights to be had in boxing, but like this, the whole Fury thing, it bores me a bit. Like I just think, yeah, you know what, I know what you lot are doing. Like you're just going to prolong it until the money goes up and up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Indeed, mate. Indeed. Well, Danny, I've enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I could probably go for even longer, but I know that.
You just call me back another time.
Oh well, right. I know for a fact that they'll start moaning. You said you were going to be an hour or so.
Yeah, they got to get your dinner on.
Oh, it's not the longest I've done.
There you go.
I've done like 3.5 hours before. Like,
how long was you doing that?
not sure. Tell me.